Can I just have your attention? Thank you so much for coming this evening. We hope that you enjoyed your starter. It's rather tasty. So part of what we wanted to do this evening was just to get to know you guys a little bit more, and also for you to get to know us. I think it's fair to say that as women, we like to have a bit of chat, don't we? We like to talk about our lives and what's going on, share our hurts, our secrets, our joys. So that's a little bit of what we're going to be doing this evening. So we've got a few women that are going to share their journey with you, and we hope that those stories bless you and encourage you. So we're going to start this evening with Amanda. Amanda moved to Basingstoke 3 years ago? Hi. Two and a bit years ago. Amanda is from London. Originally, she's married with 2 biological children and 4 foster children, ranging in ages from 6 to 17. So, Amanda, tell us, how did your fostering journey begin?
Hello.
Hi, Amanda.
When I was back in London, before we were moving, we were considering what we were planning to do for the future. So myself and my husband were looking at where we're going to live and then also what we were going to do. And it was my neighbour, Amanda, as well, who said to us that we'd be great at fostering because she'd seen our children and we said, you look after them well, you've raised them well. Have you ever considered it? And I thought to myself, what? Fostering, that means they moved into my house. So we started looking at it, we started asking questions, we went to the local authority that we were in, which was Ealing, and we went to the initial training to find out more about it. And we said, actually, we could probably do this. And because we home educate our children, that was an important part of the decision making. We wanted to be available to our girls as much as possible. We weren't going to send them back into the school system, and so it was about how can we work and do something that is going to be beneficial to others, but also beneficial to my family. And so then we said, okay. Ealing said no, we couldn't do fostering because the house that we were living in, which was my mum's house, was on the market to be sold. But if we had started fostering, we would have been able to afford to stay there. But anyway, so they refused us, and so we went to an agency and then started the process with them. And they were very flexible about us not having the house yet, but we knew that they were going to be okay with us as a family. So, my friend Amanda.
What would you say your greatest challenge has been fostering?
Knowing whether I was doing the right thing. And I think the blessing that I've had on this journey before we started fostering was that I've come back to God because I grew up as a Christian. My mum used to take us to church on a regular basis, and coming back and finding God and getting to know God was the greatest. That was a question, right? Greatest opening?
The greatest challenge.
Oh no, it's the greatest challenge. Okay, so the greatest challenge is always about, am I doing the right thing? Am I too tough? Am I too soft? Am I too hard? Am I too strict? And that's usually the thing. And it's always, for me, trying to deal with me as a person and then go to God and say, please just help me because I'm not sure. And I think the children themselves are wonderful. They were sent by God because I remember when we went to the training, they would say things like, yes, the children might have been sexually abused, or this, that, and the other, and I was like, that's all right. I don't want none of those. And so I deliberately prayed, and I wrote about it, and I said, God, you've given me two girls. So I want some more girls, because I don't want any problems with my girls. And I want children that are Christian, because I don't want to have conflict with the children about their beliefs. And I want good children, but obviously they will have been through something. But please, God, just keep the abuse over there, and I'll look after someone who maybe hasn't been fed or looked at, So God was truly in bringing these children to us.
Yeah. Wonderful. So we talked about some of the challenges. What would you say are some of the highs? What have been some of the great things about fostering?
Now seeing the children. So, well, not every day is easy, but as an example, today, me and my strict self, who's the only boy, he's the youngest, he was a little bit, Mum, you got your phone on? He's the youngest, and he didn't want to clean today. Everybody does their cleaning on Saturday. So, he didn't want to do it. It's her boyfriend. Husband is her husband. Everybody was doing their cleaning and their chores, but wasn't happy to do his. So I said, okay, the new book that you've just got, I want you to write out 5 pages. His face changed. Because he was like, oh, I should have done the cleaning. He really didn't want to do it. And he was answering back and being a little bit rude. So I said, well, maybe we should do 6 pages then. He looked at me again. Eventually he did 2 whole pages of his little workbook. And I thought he's just going to be angry all day. But as I was leaving, he came up and he was just leaning on me and his head was pushed up. I was like, what do you want? But that is one of the highlights. The children, like all of us, are just gentle, traumatized, damaged by this world. That's all they are. And if I look at those 4 people, I don't just see those 4 people. As I look around the room, each and every one of us has had a little bit of trauma. Some of us more than others, and some of us have had somebody who they can lean on. And so at the moment it's me. And then for me, I have to have somebody to lean on. And so my highlight is being able to lean on God and be able to, come to Basingstoke. Victor, my husband, complains, oh, it's raining, it's Basingstoke, what kind of place is this? But to me, I'm not bothered about the rain because I can see in this audience women who are there to support me. I've got Rhoda, who's my best friend, and I love her dearly. And she, no matter what, is there for me. And so when you're able to find a sister, a mother, a grandma, a role model, someone else who you know you need, that's the biggest blessing. And I think that's why with fostering, it's not about me and my family, because I can't offer them everything they need. It's about me creating a bigger network for them that they can realise they've got me and my husband, they've got Rhoda, James, they've got people around them. And so if I'm not around, they're not alone. And this is the biggest lesson. It's about we're not alone, but most people think they're alone. And if you think you're alone, you will be. you have to reach out. You have to spend time listening to other people. You have to spend time being with other people. Because otherwise, my eyes hurt and maybe the mascara. Otherwise, you're alone. And so, fostering has enabled us to grow our network and the people that we love and the people that we know. And it's enabled us to just be present with others.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Amanda, for sharing your story with us. That was lovely, isn't it, lady? Should we give her a round of applause? So
I'm going back in the kitchen now.